I think we are back, and
Yes.
with
Hello.
with the last student of this masterclass and another wonderful piece. Do you want to introduce yourself and what you will be playing?
Yes, so I'm Ignas Maknickas. I'm from Lithuania, but I was born in California, but then my parents came back to Lithuania, so I'm from Lithuania. And at the moment, I'm studying at Royal Academy of Music in London, doing my third bachelor year with Professor Joanna MacGregor. Uh, and today I'm going to play beautiful Chopin Barcarolle, Opus 60.
Wonderful. Looking forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm plugging my headset. That's a very special piece. Did you play it for a long time?
Yes, quite an old piece for me, but I had a huge break, maybe for a year or so, which I haven't played it.
Right.
And now I kind of refresh it, and yeah.
It's a. I think I would like to say a few things for you about how to build it and with rhythm and so on as well. Chopin's music is so full of flowers that one wants to show, and how many changes, and sometimes it's amazing how he builds a piece like that from great simplicity to the most ecstatic moment at the end, and I think the simplicity also must be there, and sometimes I feel the line was not clear for me, you know, where does the phrases go, anyway, let's start from the beginning. We start with the music and see where it leads us. Yeah, just the first gesture. I would play a little bit more this bass, not like it's really the beginning. I mean, this is really where it's going. So to have one, it goes to there. And maybe not too fast, because then when you get to it should be more or less the same tempo. Of course, it can be a little bit long, but not. It becomes a little bit too light. Let us listen to every harmony. There's so many harmonic changes. Beautiful also. Try. If you try to avoid to make this big movement, because then you will be quite much later. If you go more directly, just go to the key, you know, and then you go there, and then you can take time, you know? Right? Beautiful. Yes. So now I found it also more convincing, the Barcarolle itself, when it starts. Just maybe even more that there is a difference of to explain this, which is a long interval, and then which is kind of lighter, no? So this light one, this last one is going up, and the first one is connecting to the next track. But nice. The theme was nice. But here, I know it says crescendo, but it's if you play this too loud, then it sounds like a melodic note. Then it sounds like the melody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think, can you play the long note a little bit more? And then, of course, play this clear, but play it still under the melody.
Yeah.
So it doesn't overshadow. So then you have the melodic note staying there till the next one. Try. Ah.
No.
Okay. So we have, in fact, he writes crescendo into this. So I think it should begin with real sound there, and then you can come down like he writes. So you have. And there's the maneuver. In a way, this is the low points, and then. And try to have really a steady pulse here, because I feel there is really one line with the crescendo. And now you can do what? And you're back to this Barcarolle. It's very important that we feel that we are safe in this boat, you know. That we that it has a rollicking character, and sometimes we get out of it and we wait, but then we come back to it, you know. Can you play the second line from there? Okay. So I think just you need to somewhere come down here. So maybe after you have, and then. So where it says, it's often, you know, when we see crescendo, we should come down to be able to make the crescendo, and this is such a case. And gradually, then you get a big expression of you know, these two bars. Can you play from?
Can I take the music? I forgot to put it.
Yeah,
here.
please.
Yeah, I have here.
It's easier if you have it. Yeah.
Thank you.
The crescendo was very good. What was missing was the bar before. What you actually do there, you go forward when I feel the music is declining. We have this, and I think it needs to relax there before you start again. So don't push this, you know. Then you're pushing something which is, it's against its nature. It comes down, and then you can start. Try just about before. Again. Okay. So you have, I find that this, maybe it shouldn't be too soft too early, because then you can, I think you wanted to do a kind of crescendo here. I wasn't so sure. It's but with the change, can you immediately start the tempo again? So that we don't get lost. Immediately enthusiasm with the new harmony. Try? Maybe from there. Use the left hand here, so you have use this left hand, and also here the thumbs in the left hand, they make such a beautiful melody here. Even there is a variation, right? So use this. That makes it so rich. In fact, the right hand is more ornamental on the top, but this chorale there in the middle, that's important. Yeah, the bar before maybe. Many beautiful things, but just under all these floating trills and so on, just make sure that you have the Barcarolle rhythm, that your 16 notes are not so consistent. Sometimes they're like this, sometimes very quick. So this is always under this rollicking rhythm. Try from the crescendo bar. that's a beautiful diminuendo. What I was missing before was the bass. It's so amazing how the bass is climbing when you have up and again. It goes all the way, you know. And back to C sharp. It has such a meaning that these harmonies from the bass. So just listen to that when you with the melody. Can you play from the where it starts the crescendo, maybe? Yeah, this I don't understand, because he writes in my score a very short pedal, and I think after all this swimming, now comes this lonely voice, and that's really speaking, but whispering, but speaking clearly. I don't think we can make something harmony, something impressionistic. And we're back to the C. I think this voice carry us through with it, and play with that pedal and really clear. Let's try once. Okay, that was for me much more beautiful. But now maybe you were a little bit slow because you had to speed up when you got to the A major. So of course he writes this poco piemoso, so it could be a little bit. And I think this A needs a little bit more also in the bass. Then you can do this diminuendo which he writes. So maybe. And very smooth. So that we hear this A through the whole. And it still lasts when we. And then a melody appears again. Try once this. Yeah, and play it really pianissimo, yeah. And I don't think you need to wait after the chord, actually. And immediately move. You know?
Okay.
Very, very good. Maybe not too soft this, because it's a long note. And then this. Can you have the feeling that you have it inside your hand? It's so easy that this kind of passage becomes a little bit, a little bit thrown away. Yeah. But I think this one is, it's sort of, so you have it here at your fingertip, very sensitive, and it doesn't need to be very fast. Okay. Before. I felt this section grew much more organically out from the previous one. Thank you. And just for me, always with this, when it grows to the forte, it's a feeling of, it's not really a feeling of excitement so much going forward. It's more a feeling of just, it broadens itself, right? So for yourself also, you can feel it physically that you are expanding, and that makes you also play differently, that you don't get too much like this. So you feel this kind of breath here, and it's a wonderful feeling, because then you really you fill your lungs, and you need this for this kind of chords, and you feel this space. Which is important, that it doesn't become like something you want, but it happens. But you are on a good way now. Can you just try to play into this photo once more, though? Just the bar before? Just when it changes the bass from A to G sharp, just to feel it like a church bell. It's really something new. And then it stays for a long time with G sharp, G sharp, G sharp, F sharp, each time there's a change. Really feel that change in both hands, so that you fill it with the left hand as well. Sorry, okay. Just play from the forte directly. There's a difficult passage, because it's such a long crescendo suddenly, and it feels often like it can get too thick at the end. So I suggest to sorry. this first chord, play piano, play piano. Because then you can again play very melodically here. It needs this accompaniment that it's not, because it's not so intense. It's maybe a little bit there, but and now, right? Can you play a few bars before where the crescendo starts, maybe?
Yes, so.
Just when you started, I'm not sure that I find it so convincing that it's a subito piano, because that's how it starts now. Continue playing, singing. I don't know what you have in your score, but I don't have any dynamic change there.
Same. I don't have anything.
Yeah. Can do the different, and then later on it becomes piano, and then it calms down. Try to make it a little bit more espressivo in the beginning here, and the waves that he writes. Just a bar before.
No, one more time.
Yeah. And just keep it tempo though. Just keep it flowing. Even if you have a little bit more singing. Yeah, you can play really pianissimo the last, when he comes up here. Really, really delicate, and then again, then it can be clear. But just so the last one is almost the echo of what was, right? Last two bars.
So
yeah. Oh, I see.
My headphone just fell out.
Okay, continue. I think he wants the staccato. He writes staccatos. And he only writes short pedals. And now, and I find that such an amazing change in emotion when he goes from the staccato to the legato, and harmonically as well. So I think you are taking that away from us if you use pedal and make it longer. Try once to pop, 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 that this is an element that goes through. You do the pedal step, like, yeah. Yeah, but that is, you don't have legato there. Well, for me, that's the most singing place. Sorry. Now. Really legato. All this so. Begging, you know, and really legato. Try where it starts to be legato with pedals. So you know when you have you're waiting very long on that trill. You're waiting till after the. I think it needs to be tempo there from the crescendo. And then just a little bit retenuto into the tempo primo. And the tempo primo, try here to be quite even, I think, in tempo. Of course, phrase and sing, but if you're too rubato, it takes away from the next section, because the next section is really wild. Or, you know, there you can do many things because there's so many different harmonies, but here it's still harmonious. So try not to be too restless here. Okay, can you try before with the crescendo?
Sorry, which part? Okay.
I liked it a lot. The last bar, I think you can start less in the crescendo, so you don't have to push too much this crescendo, because still the next one with the fortissimo must sound like you have yet another level. So I think and then start piano. You know, I would play rather intimate this first. Only at the end, and then everything opens, you know. Try. Good. But try to play it once. You know, what should direct our emotions here? I think one way of listening to what really happens is to play it with the bass in mind, really, and just phrase the bass. You know what I mean? So it really comes from there. It comes from all these harmonic changes, which always begins with the bass. It doesn't mean that you have to play it much louder, but just to listen to it once. But just as an exercise, play it and be more. Yeah, listen to what happens down there. Play the whole thing. I mean, and then listen to what happens with the bass. Yeah. Yeah, I was just yeah, good. Just one more thing about the what we talked about with the bass. That's of course one aspect, and the other one is the left hand always goes interesting places with the tambo. So you know the I think this is if you want to listen to these chords, you don't go so fast. Now I felt you have a little bit tendency to go too fast and a little bit uncontrollable, but it's so exciting to hear these harmonies as a counter thing to the melody. But you don't need to do it now. What I was thinking is that he writes after the and then tempo primo, which I think is the beginning tempo rather than this first tempo which we had, which means take your time here to explain everything, because I often find that this page goes by too quickly. It is so heartbreaking. Everything, every turn. You can go to the limit with these allegrandos. Yeah? I mean, this harmony. That needs time to be explained, I think. So I think this tempo primo is fantastic from him to write this, not a tempo, but tempo primo, the first tempo.
Okay.
Try. Yeah, good. Better. Just be aware that we have often the tendency, because we have big chords on the first beat, ra, pa, 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 and then very often we rush through the next beats. And I think in this place you really don't need to do it, because, and you shouldn't do it, because harmonies get lost. So ra, pa, pa, ka, pa, pa. So between the second and third ra, pa, pa, don't go ba, pa, 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 you know, have you almost distorting the rhythm. Just play once from the da, pa, 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 pa. Everyone. Very good. But this, do you think it's such a diminuendo? Because I think and then it's like all the small notes inside. Though maybe it's not also a virtuoso passage. It's all written like 8 notes, so it's not it's not this. Take your time also for this. But I think it's not really a diminuendo going because this it's quite extreme to write this kind of chord, and he writes a forzato on it. So I think we should go to this moment, and then there is release. The last 2 bars again. I liked everything except the last bar, because the last bar, you're like it's like you don't really have a rhythm, while this one, there is such a dignity. It's like columns. This here we are, and there's no more music, so I wouldn't make any rubato, something bum bum. Try to play the passage, and then you really have one tempo the last bar. That's better. Only now I also thought of one thing. I think the very top, that that is the softest. I think at the moment you are making already there a kind of espressivo, don't you think? And then the crescendo starts in the middle of it. So I think this is almost inaudible. You know, very light on the top. Try once more the passage, and then when you are there, enjoy the pianissimo before the passage turns into something serious. Good. Then you have the transformation of this passage from something very dreamy to something quite, you know, dramatic or virtuous.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful. Thank you.
So that was the end, I think.
I think
It's a great pleasure to be with you all.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.